Roses are red, violets are blue. Don't let a wild pube wreck you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsors at Manscaped are here for you with the best tools to get your balls ready for the special occasion. This V-Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use the code FALCON for 20% off and free shipping. That's promo code FALCON for 20% off and free shipping. Hey, Danny. I think...
John,
yo.
what is up?
Hey, well, I think this month we've recorded more than we did in the last 3. Thanks again for our friends at Manscaped for encouraging us to record so much. Thanks to you guys for purchasing their wonderful products with promo code FALCON to encourage us to record so much. Because let me give you a little preview here. By the way, John, Danny, Mob Rules, welcome back. All that other fun stuff. My day,
we're so back.
My day started My day started at 2 a.m. when my 3-year-old son woke up. Then continued at 4 a.m. when my 3-year-old son woke up. Then continued at 5 a.m. when I got up for work. And then when I got off work, I started doing some homework. Because, college, trying to get ahead. Yeah, my hard drive failed on my computer.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, man.
So I had to go and buy a new laptop, which is what I'm on now, because it has slightly better Wi-Fi because it's newer. And then,
you did a good one?
Yeah, I did. There's a student discount.
Nice.
And
yeah, baby. Yeah.
Heck yeah. So got in there. So yeah, everything that failed today did. But we're still here. We're doing the thing. We can say fuck and Tyler won't get mad at us because he doesn't have to edit anything.
Yeah, fuck Tyler.
Fuck Tyler.
Yeah.
Woo.
It's like the opposite world.
It's the opposite. I have my soundboard every week now because I use the microphone, but I can actually do that without Val getting mad. Well, not that he would, to be honest. He'd probably get a little chuckle out of it. But anyway, Danny, how is it? My week's gone to shit, and it's Wednesday. How are you doing?
Oh, man. This is the first week back to school for me, so I've been kind of trying to get back into the swing of things. So that's been the thing.
Did you know our atmosphere is actually 4 different layers that reaches 500 miles? Because I didn't, and I literally have no care about it, but college says I need to learn it. That's been my week.
Like the stratosphere and the troposphere, all that stuff.
There's the thermosphere as well, which is where Mob Rules, your number one podcast for Bio 130.
Hey, but that's it's good, John. It's a well-rounded education.
It is.
It's important that you don't just concentrate all on one thing.
That's right.
And not know how to do anything else.
It's fair.
The value of the liberal arts. All right, so we
as good as a Chaos Space Marine Army in February.
Yeah, we'll see. So I've been assembling stuff. I built a Alaris captain tonight for my team tournament list.
Nice. Yeah. I'm very excited about that, by the way. I like a lot what you said. Yeah.
So
gonna compliment that with as many impulsors as I can fit in 1,000 points.
You love to see it, man.
You love to see it. 140 points each. Just take 5 of them. Then everything else is just gonna be whatever I need to take to make 5 impulsors happen.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. You've nailed it.
The meme list.
I'm just but I've got a lot of models to build and paint for that. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be intense. Maybe even right up to the last minute. We'll see what happens. I mean, because we've got 2 weeks.
We have about, just a little over 2 weeks until the big event. We're recording here on the 12th. LVO, of course, kicks off the 27th. So, literally 2 weeks from now, we will likely be recording, then going straight to an airport.
Yeah, so that's interesting too. Yeah, we can see where we end up before that, right? talk about kind of, that'll be like the night before I go to the airport in the morning, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it'll literally be about 3 hours before I go to the airport because I cheaped out and got the 1 a.m. flight. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think mine's at 6. But I don't have nearly as far to go as you do. So
and just for the stalkers out there, my flight to Seattle is at 1 a.m. And then my flight to Vegas is at 6:50 at a good old SeaTac.
Oh, so you get a nice 3-hour layover. You can have maybe some lunch if restaurants aren't closed in the airport.
Let me tell you about reading and taking notes from the Space Marine Codex when I plan
perfect.
on doing
it. It'll be a study sesh then, huh?
Hell yeah.
So here's my favorite part about this plane ride, right? And I can't wait to get shit for this from my wife.
Love it.
So I booked my ticket first because I didn't know if she was going to go.
Right.
And then she booked her ticket and she was like, "Hey, you're going coach, right? Where's your seat?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm not."
We got that FLGN money now. You don't fly coach.
The FLGN money. You're right. I'm just rolling in that. So I pimped out. I'm going first class down there and first class back. But unfortunately, to fly to Pullman, there is no first class because it's too small of an airport. So I will be sitting next to my wife on that flight.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's great. I can take her room. It'll be awesome. I don't have to sit awkwardly next to someone else. It turns out, and this may surprise our listeners, but other people don't like to cuddle with me as much as my wife does, which is shocking. I'm just a teddy bear.
You try so hard to get other people to cuddle you too.
In the end, it just didn't even matter. So, like in the anyway, Necrons are pretty much done. I've got to do some like light paint work on them. Because like they're base colored. I played in a tournament this last weekend, like an RTT. Although, funny story about said RTT, and I kind of talked about this on the Discord a little bit, is I initially thought that this was a 2-day GT event.
You did. I got to make a very funny, my favorite joke about it on Grim on Monday. I don't know if you noticed that one there.
Perfect.
My favorite jokes that I got. No, I told it on Monday. I already did it. My favorite jokes are throwaway lines that only 2 or 3 people will actually understand. And when you have an audience of thousands, that's the real reaching point right there.
When you have an audience of tens, it's a little different.
Our other one is actually pretty popular. I don't know why they don't fucking come over here, but that's okay.
I don't know. No, I was talking about over here.
Oh yeah, fair. Audience of 10s. Yeah, this is where I explain the joke. It's like a behind the scenes.
The roles are reversed here a little bit. Over here, the joke explains John, and
over there, John is the joke.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm super pumped for LVO. Like we're gearing up for that. They released, I was happy to see the new COVID safety precautions that like, at least there'll be a requirement for masks at the event.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Frontline has a thing where they just go by what the local health code says, which I get. Like if you go over what the health code says, then people bitch. If you go under, people bitch. So just kind of
right.
That's the company line. They do whatever it says. And right now, Vegas, being that there's like millions of dollars at stake, are doing literally nothing to fuck up any chance they have of making money. So they do have a mask mandate in place right now.
So it'll be interesting to see like how that all ends up working out, kind of, I guess. As far as people like adhering to that and like what the requirements are. Like, are people going to get kicked out of the event for not doing that? Because I feel like there's definitely a segment of our population that would want to buck that trend. And hey, look, that's up to you if you want to try and do that stuff. I'm just going with what the rules of the actual event are. So.
Yeah, I know when I go to a friend's house, I take off my clothes immediately, and if they complain, be like, "Fuck you! This is a free country."
Fuck you, buddy. This is America.
It's my constitutional right to touch taint to your couch.
John always got really upset about that. He was like, "Hey, man, like, can you at least put a towel down?"
Eagle noise
And I
explosion,
didn't. I
America. No,
refused.
yeah,
Yeah, I like the feel of the microfiber on my testicles.
yeah. But I mean, I was sort of happy about it because that was one of the questions I had for Kicker going in, because we interviewed Kicker Klozzi, FLGN's event manager, last Monday, and like just to kind of get some hype for LVO, talk about the event, the kind of the culture around it, and one of the things was because we are hearing so much things about me. That's a lot of arguments condensed into one. I don't know if you could feel that.
Yeah, no, I picked up on all of them there. I've computated that, and I understand fully.
Yeah, Siegler sarcasm over there.
Perfect.
But yeah, it was nice that they sent us that information beforehand to kind of present.
Yeah. So,
but here's a question for you, Danny. Like I said, Vegas real serious about their shit. Real serious about keeping making money. Do you believe that ejection will be out of Frontline's hands? Because the casino, the hotel, they're going to have people walking around. They're going to have people kind of doing things, refilling things, restocking things. If they're seeing people not following the county policy, are they going to be like, hey, that guy needs to go?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it going to be FLG and this could be a cardable offense potentially in the tournament, or it could be a venue response. And I don't know who from the venue is like walking around watching gamers, right?
Chris.
Yeah. Oh man, I did forget about Chris. Thank you. That guy, what a rascal. What a rascal.
And well, here is more LVO based questions. The things I saw. Art of War, or Art of War Down Under, which is technically Art of War right way up right now, as Mr. Camilleri is in America. He's been playing games against Siegler to get himself back into sparring shape.
Yeah, sure.
How was that described? Does that mean he's going to play at LVO? And if so, who's going to not sleep for 3 days and talk for 40 hours?
Also Camilleri.
Yeah. So if you're playing Camilleri in round one, you'll notice he's looking at his phone a lot and just nonstop talking while rolling dice and moving things. He's actually
filming video cast at the same time. Yeah,
he's actually shoutcasting the top table while playing you.
Yeah, you can just see his arm is extended behind him the whole time, and he's playing one-handed. He's just got measuring sticks out, like measuring ranges, like with one hand.
He'll do it too.
Classic.
Madman. I think he's the only person I know who has that much energy to be able to do that.
I would believe it.
Yeah,
I played against Camilleri before. He's a great player.
Yeah, how'd you do?
Yeah. How did he do?
How did you do?
Oh, well, I was playing Iron Hands, so I did just.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a game where people were donating to have my units not shoot or charge.
Like, that's when we.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, because I was the one fucking with you on that. No, that was you and Falcon.
No, that was also during that game.
Oh, good. I only tried to fuck with you with the Falcon game.
But it was fine. Hey, it was for charity, right? I was happy to do that.
That's fair. Follow-up question talking about fucking with you about stuff. Do you actually believe people will put Post-its on your back?
We'll see. So if one person does it and other people see it, yeah. But like, it's going to be, God, it would be pretty dope to have a whole cape of like Post-it notes at the end of this.
I will say, just for some background, if for some reason you only listen to the show and not the better produced one we're on, I did lay out the challenge kind of out of nowhere with no prior discussion or permission, that whoever put the most Post-it notes on Danny's back during the 40K champs would win a prize. To which Kicker, as an official representative of FLG,
I know,
instantly was like, yeah, this is a sponsored competition. This is technically an event at LVO now.
You have to register. Yeah. It's $5. I'm just kidding.
Oh, we'll pay out as soon as BCP submits the round score. Oh man. But yeah, so you're getting your team list together, which is going to be the new Custode boys with their Jim Kata. How is your you said you went to an RTT. Did you take your LVO list to that RTT?
I did.
How did it end up?
Well, I went 2-1, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
If I go what is effectively 2-1 at LVO, I would be super happy about that.
It's like
If I go
8-3.
8-3, yeah, perfect. That'd be even better. Just kidding. I don't want to play 11 games in 2 days. I would literally die.
That's miserable.
That's 6 games in 1 day, John.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. The nice thing do you want me to talk like a brief rundown?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, people are wondering, and I'll probably mention this in how this is just us bullshitting for an hour, with a 30 pause in the middle to talk about our balls.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we're giving the people what they want, John. That's what this is.
Which is discussion of our balls. Thanks, Manscaped. But yeah, go ahead, talk about your games.
Sure. Okay. So round 1. Actually, let me pull up BCP.
Hell yeah!
And I can actually just look at who I actually played. Man, it was really fun. I'm really glad. So I went to the Gamers Haven in Spokane, Washington, run by the amazing, immaculate Bob Kelly. What a guy! Like, he came by several times during the day just to see how my games are going and like chat with me, which was awesome. I was super happy about
dollars of Marvel Crisis Protocol did you leave with?
About 140.
Did every time
I
Bob
actually think retail was like 160, but I had like some points built up, so I used those up while I was there.
Do you think that Bob kept coming over because he was like, "Hey, Danny, we have a Cable and Domino over there"?
I already have that box, but yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I bought all the Guardians I didn't have.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good luck with Rocket.
I already built Rocket. He's primed. Yeah, I got Gamora and I got Nebula and I got Star-Lord and I got Drax and Ronan. And then I also got Black Cat and the Spider-Man box because that's just a really good, like, Black Cat is one of the best characters in the whole game.
She is.
So I ended up getting that.
She's also one of the worst characters to build, I hear.
Yeah, people really don't like her pose, which is like whatever to me. All right,
Warhammer.
Warhammer, baby.
Yeah.
So game 1, I played against a gentleman named Sam Scott. Sam brought demons. So he had the Lord of Change with -1 damage in the cloak. He had a big unit of horrors, a couple of bloodletter bombs. He had an exalted bloodthirster of Insensate Rage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a Changecaster, 5 mana Blood Crushers, 5 mana of Flesh Hounds, and a unit of Flamers.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a list. Like I was at, so no joke, like my list doesn't have a lot of attacks.
Right.
Or like not a lot of attack, but a lot of shots, right? So like I'm like, I don't really want to fight these guys.
Luckily for you, a Bloodthirster actually doesn't have that many attacks.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That'll come up later. He rolled for the exalted traits on the Bloodthirster and got no more than 8 wounds in one phase.
Okay.
That it could lose, and then also he got the +1 damage on its attacks. So its attacks were like old Melta, so roll 2 dice, take the highest +1.
Okay.
And then the Lord of Change had the 6-up Feel No Pain, where it heals a wound every time it passes one, which is, and you know, it's also -1 damage. That thing is so annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was really conservative the first few turns of the game, and so I was able to kind of push out and really deny him good deep strikes. Mm-hmm. And he charged in with Bloodletters and like into a big unit of Scorpex, like 6 of them. And then also my unit of Wraiths. And I've since changed my Wraiths. Normally Wraiths, you see them with the Vicious Claws, which are like 2 damage, and you're like, right. Oh yeah, cool, that's good. But like, I found that those are not very good normally.
Do you think people are taking them like, well, I know the 2 damage was like especially sexy with like when Primaris were coming along, right, and like new Marine or old Marines were 2 wounds. So like, oh yeah, everything's going to be 2 damage. Do you think there's some like holdover from that still going on?
Yeah. And I think people just have it modeled that way too, probably. And like, yeah, they're +1 strength as well. So their strength, so they can go up to like strength 7 or 8 potentially. Mm-hmm. if you have the right buffs on them. But I don't know. I just didn't really. So I've given them whip coils, and the whip coils give them like 8 attacks apiece.
Nice.
Which is great because then that unit of 5 puts out 40 attacks, and I really need the horde clear on them.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he charges in his bloodletter bombs into these units, and just like one of them hits the destroyers. The destroyers do fairly well in their saves. They pop the -1 to hit the -1 to wound strat, which means he's wounding on 5s, which is real nice.
Right.
And then I also I interrupt with the wraiths, and the wraiths do they kill like 7 or 8 bloodletters before they get to swing. And then that means basically that I get like he doesn't get +1 to hit, and wraiths also have a 4-up invul save, and I did okay on 4-ups. So I only lost like 3 out of 5, and then one of them came back, so I still had 3.
Nice.
So that was totally fine with me. And then the destroyers lost like out of 6, I think I lost 4, and then 1 came back. And then they struck back and killed a bunch of bloodletters. And then he had to kind of push. Oh man, he also, sorry, I totally missed a bunch of his list too. He had 2 skull cannons and also a soul grinder.
Huh. I now see where you're coming from, where you're like, it's certainly a list.
Yeah. So first turn, I like ace the soul grinder because my list has. So then I didn't even talk about my list at all, right?
No, we went right into demons. You're like,
my
so
list is
about
bizarre. My list is super stupid. It's bizarre. I built it because like I felt like Crusher Brood and Thick City are going to be things that you're going to see a lot, and so I need to have the ability to just like nuke big models right off the table. They just need to fucking die. So I have a Catacomb Command Barge with the Voltaic Staff and the reroll Charges Aura. And then I've got a Chronomancer with the Veil of Darkness. And he's got his Entropic Lance. And then I've got a Technomancer with the Canoptic Cloak, and he kind of just flies around and like heals my Monolith. Which I also have Monolith.
That's what makes it wacky.
4 Death Rays. Yeah, this is such a weird unit. Like the Monolith with 4 Death Rays and he's got Particle Whip, so he's good at killing big stuff. I've got a unit of 5 and a unit of 6 Scorpec Destroyers. The aforementioned 5 Wraiths. I've got a unit of 5 Immortals, and 2 units of 3 Scarabs. So it's a Spearhead. Oh, and 3 units. Sorry, and also importantly, 3 units of 3 Heavy Destroyers with the Gauss Destructor. So that's the damage 3d3 weapon.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So they do very well against big targets. Obviously, they're core now, so I can bring one back with the Technomancer, and I can do my Will Be Done on them. My command barge has Hand of the Pharaon, which lets me do my Will Be Done on 2 units instead of just 1. So I get 2 units of destroyers hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. Like they do a lot of work. And then anyway, so first turn I ace the Soul Grinder and a cannon. The next turn I can't really draw line of sight on a ton of stuff, but I have to deal with Blood Crushers, which are in the middle of my army. So I kill all them. I kill some Flesh Hounds. And then turn 3, he like kind of tries to push. So he brings in all his bloodletters. He pushes with his Exalted Bloodthirster, which has already taken like 8 wounds. He comes in, kills a Heavy Destroyer, and then turn 4 he charges the Bloodthirster into my Monolith. Yeah, and the Monolith isn't hurt yet, right? And the Bloodthirster, the way that the Corn thing works now is it's +1 strength, and his axe is ×2 strength.
Right.
So he's strength 7, which goes to 15, not 16.
Right.
So he moves on 3s, not on 2s.
Oh.
So he rolled a couple of 1s, and then he rolled like with 5 attacks because the Bloodthirster was bracketed. Rolled a couple of 1s with 5 attacks. And then rolled like a couple of 1s and 2s, and then I got lucky because my Monolith has a 2+ save.
Yeah,
I saved one of the wounds, so he only got 2 wounds through.
Oh no!
And rolled double 2s on the first one, and then a 6 on the other one. So the Monolith took 10 damage, right?
Yeah.
Which is normally enough to kill pretty much anything, but that doesn't bracket the monolith. And the monolith in combat has the Portal of Exile, which auto hits 6 times at strength 8 -3, 3 flat damage.
That's dirty. So, the monolith does that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But then again, when do you see a monolith on a table?
Yeah, nobody sees the monolith, right? And it's
real gotcha moment.
The Portal of Exile. Like, he killed it. Like, he just was like, went right to the Shadow Realm.
Do you remember we were filming a Codex review? I want to say it was for Necrons or Space Marines. It was like early 9th. And I got into my brain that I wanted to just run 7 Bloodthirsters. And I got really excited.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It.
Oh, yeah, we rolled the math.
And it was a super meme list, but I'm like, no, it's hype. It's going to be great. And then you made me do the math on the damage 7 Bloodthirsters would do to like a squad of Primaris. And it crushed my soul entirely.
Yeah, like 1 Bloodthirster doesn't always kill a squad of Primaris Marines.
We're not talking like a 10-man, a 5-man.
Yeah, a 5-man. And it was like, oh.
No. Yeah.
This is a bummer.
It's a bummer. But still, sounds like a great game. I mean, obviously, like demons aren't in the best place right now. And then, of course, Necrons. You're talking about some of the buffs that he's got in that quarterly balance update, Data Slate.
Yeah, getting core to like basically all the units in my army, which is why I put them in the army in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Just means I've got a lot more options for them. So I ended up winning that game. We were a little slow on the game, and that's me, and I think it was a combination of the two of us, really. So we only got through turn 4. We didn't finish turn 5. But the only model he had left was his Lord of Change.
Oh.
So I think I probably would have pulled out like a few more points out of that game. But I won that game 81-41.
Okay.
So still a fun game. And that was Priority Targets was that mission.
Okay.
So next I played Ryan Kufa, and his list was very strange. I don't really get it. He had Magnus as his warlord in a Supreme Command.
Okay.
And then he had Death Guard for the rest of his list. So he had 3 Plague Burst Crawlers with Entropy Cannons.
Wait, but
he loses Contagions. Yeah.
This is not this. I mean, this isn't. You lose so much from that. Like, don't you lose Thousand Sun stuff too?
Yeah.
And okay, well, maybe that's the model he had, and he didn't have a Mortarion.
No, I mean, I think he had whatever he wanted. Anyway, so he had. I don't know. He seemed to really like his list. So he had a Lord of Contagion, a Blight Caster, right? Mm-hmm. That's what they're called. Was it Plague Caster?
Plague Caster, yeah.
Plague Caster. And then he had 3 or 4 units of 5 Plague Marines.
Okay.
3 units of 5 Plague Marines. Yep. He had a unit of 6 Death Shroud, a unit of 3 Death Shroud, and then the Plague Burst Crawlers. That was the list. So he took like to the last, which was Magnus, one of the Plague Burst Crawlers, and the big unit of Death Shroud. So like my thought initially in the game was I just need to like kill this to the last targets. He also had Warp Ritual. Mm-hmm. And so if I can kill Magnus, which is going to be good, right? If I can kill Magnus, and then if I can kill that Plague Caster, like I can prevent a ton of points,
right?
Because he did not Warp Ritual on the first turn. He was too far away.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So, he went first, went up. He killed like all but 2 of 1 unit of Scorpex.
Okay.
And that was basically all that happened. There wasn't much else. I think the monolith took a couple of damage.
Would you agree that like kind of the Scorpex were the best target that initial round? Because like I've not played against.
Basically, yes, okay. I would actually.
Yeah, he
didn't have like I made sure because I have a 6-inch move before the game starts.
Sure,
and all my stuff is OBSEC, right? And like I took domination, Stranglehold, and I also took shit.
It's one of the new secondaries from Nashman is just shit.
Yeah, I took grind them down.
Yep.
And which are like those ones are classic ones for me playing Necrons. I'm really good at those ones. I don't remember. Oh, and I took banners. So that's pretty typical Necron like secondary pick for me.
Banners is also pretty good against Death Guard just because they're so goddamn slow that they can't really get over and pull your banners off.
Well, and I didn't get a ton of points on banners, to be honest with you. I only really got I think I got 7 or 8 points on banners, because I lost one on turn 4.
Okay.
Of the 2 that I had. Anyway, so he flies up Magnus, does some mortal wounds, that kind of stuff. But I start pulling models in strategic ways, and so he like loses range on some of the Plague Burst crawlers and things like that. And my clapback is the monolith floats up, the destroyers float up, and they waste Magnus. I don't lose any units. I just kill Magnus.
Right. Because, I mean, your list is designed to take out big targets, and that's like the biggest target there is.
And he was like, I had no idea that I could lose that model so quickly. And I'm like, oh, well, he's like, I've never seen heavy destroyers before.
To be fair, like before that change to add that core keyword, which does probably so much for them. Yeah, probably not.
Well, I don't know. Do you remember I used to take them as 1, like in units of 1?
Yeah, you would use them as area denials, right?
Yeah, and they were good at like holding objectives in the backfield and things like that.
Yeah, you take 2
and they had a really good one shot, right? Like
Oh, I have memories. I can empathize with this Death Guard player a lot.
So I push up and I put some screens out with my I put some screens out with the scarabs. Like I kind of block some stuff off. I make sure that I have control of objectives and things like that. And he destroys the monolith in return. Oh, on his turn.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I mean, entropy cannons are good at that though. Yeah. Like they're -4 AP. Like they have
+3.
Yeah, they're good at that. The dude rolled crazy good on entropy cannons. Like every time I think he missed 1 shot every turn with all 6 entropy cannons.
Oh, that's really.
And then he would always re-roll it and hit. Like every single time. There was only until the very last turn one of his just missed twice. And it was like, okay, all right, that's crazy. I wouldn't have thought that would happen. Anyway. So on my turn, I waste the Mark for Death plague or the to the last Plague Burst Crawler. Like it's dead. And then he comes down and that's like all I kill. I don't really kill that much. I kill a unit of the Plague Marines because they fail morale. I kill 4 and then the last one runs away. And then I tried to charge the.
Yeah, because there's no. Well, I know like
there's 6.
Oh, yeah. Was it because you don't have any negative modifiers for Plague Marines?
Right.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so he doesn't take for combat attrition. He doesn't take it.
Yeah.
But if there's only 5, of them, right, and you kill 4, he's going to fail on a 5 or a 6 because Plague Marines are leadership 8, and the Terminators are leadership 9, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, it's unfortunate. Still, holy cow.
Yeah. So
not like one
and I tried to. So he's playing inexorable, right, with his dudes.
Sure.
So I tried to make a charge against them, and he made a 10, and I had a free reroll with my what's it called, the chronometron.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't roll a 10, which is whatever. But I had a shot at also getting 6 score pecks into the caster. And if I would have done that, that would have been like really game over because he only made 1 warp ritual. So he failed. So he did get a second warp ritual off. But then he shot all my scarabs, and that was like my screen units with his Death Shroud, and he had no charges.
Oh, see. I think stuff like this is, you talk about like how do you become better as a player, like what things can you do, and again, I don't know who you played, I don't really super know his army, But kind of something
Right.
I learned from playing you so much is you use charging as sort of a slingshot to move forward. So
Right.
like, yeah, you can get that kill early in the shooting phase by getting there, but you're losing so much movement. And I think that's what made me like a much better Death Guard player, is because I was getting 8, 9, 10 inches of free movement from those charge moves. And by shooting the screen unit, especially with Dash Shroud, which can take care of them just super easily. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Good lesson though.
Sure. Right. And he was telling me that this was his second game with this army too, so I'm sure he'll get better at this.
Yeah.
He then like on my turn, I basically put 3 wraiths plus the 6-man Scorpex into the Death Shroud.
Mm-hmm.
The 6-man unit.
Okay.
And like I did everything I possibly could, and I killed like 3 Death Shroud. And this was me shooting them with everything. His 4-ups were just on fire. Like I couldn't do enough damage.
Right. They're still incredibly tough.
Oh, sure. Like, but if I hit them with the damaged 3d3 weapon, like they're gonna die. Pretty much. Like if it gets through the save, right?
Like
That's
one
the
is
key.
really going to die of it. Like, but yeah, if he's making all of his entropy cannon hits, then I'm sure his saves are pretty fire as well.
Yeah. So and this is kind of a critical thing. I forgot to do my plasma sight.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh man, I forgot to do my plasma sight. He's like, sorry, man, like it's already passed. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like my bad. It was my mistake. And so then on his turn, and like he did not kill as much as he thought he was going to, because he swung like he had Arch Contaminator going. And so he swung multiple swings at the Scorpex, and I made him -1 to wound. So now he's wounded on 5s, and I have a 4-up save, and I did fine on saves, just average. And he killed like 3.
Yeah. Fishing for 6s, that's a rough gamble to take, especially against like Scorpex with those strats.
Yeah. So that worked out really well for me. And then like the wraiths almost all died. I think I had one or 2 wraiths left. Anyway, so then he kind of moves his. He'd already moved 1 unit of Death Shroud on his little unit of Death Shroud onto a side objective that I had no one on, and so I flew my command barge over there and just held the objective. I just sat on it. And I'm like, I've got OBSEC, like you don't get this objective, like you're not going to take this from me. And so on his turn, he did some charges with his Lord of Contagion, but he forgot to charge his 2 Death Shroud into my command barge. And so so like at the end of the phase, he was like, well, oh man, I forgot to charge those guys. And I'm like, oh yeah, you did. So like, and normally I'm not like that. I'm not that kind of guy, but like, I mean, that's the way it is.
So just from playing you,
and he was like, at the end of the game, he's like, oh yeah, they totally would have killed that guy. Or not the end of the game, the turn, like on his turn, he was, or on my turn, he was like complaining about it. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Probably not. I think it would be pretty hard to kill him in one swing. And he's like, really? With all these strength 7 attacks? And I'm like, permanent transhuman. I can pay 1 for a 4-up invulnerable save. Like he's D2. Got tricks. Like he's hard to kill. So he flies over behind, still on the objective, falls back out of combat, and like just stays on the, or no, sorry. He just stays on the objective and shoots the Terminators. Right. And so eventually like they do end up charging him, and I do end up wiping the, with all of my, I shoot all of my destroyers again and finally kill all the rest of the Death Shroud.
Nice.
And I also kill the Plague Caster. So he's gotten Warp Ritual twice.
Oh.
And I've killed all his to the last targets, so he gets 0 points for that. He also had behind enemy lines, and he only had the 1 unit of 2 Death Shroud on my side of the board. So he only ever got 2 points. He only ever got like 6 points for that. So his total secondaries were like 13 points.
Behind enemy lines is a real ballsy choice for Death Guard.
Well, I think he thought, oh, I've got all these deep strikers, like I'm going to get over there. And it's just like, probably not. You're pretty slow.
See, as you increase your presence in that local meta, people will start realizing your middle name is Screen.
I am good at screening out deep strikers for sure.
I know for a fact when we've been playing, I was like, I don't think I can get in your deployment zone. He's like, no, you cannot. Like, oh.
Let me show you why.
Okay. So yeah, another great. So we're now 2-0 with Danny. Danny, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hit one of our sponsors and then come back to the fabulous main sponsor and talk about what you guys all wanted us to come here and talk about, our balls.
Earl Hagen was a legend. In 1960, he whistled his way into Hollywood and into our hearts. Decades later, he made a comeback, lending those lustrous lips in the 1980s to such bands as the Scorpions, Guns N' Roses, and Pat Benatar. A half-century after his humble beginnings, he's at it again. This time without cumbersome musical accompaniment, he'll have you wetting your whistle and whistling along. His new album, Earl Whistles Disney, is sure to be a hit with all generations. Order now and receive a bonus album, Earl Whistles More Shit, a collection of previously unreleased material of Earl's favorite songs through the years. On this bonus album, he demonstrates his newly mastered technique of inward whistling. Order yours today on compact disc or double-length cassette. Also available at fine retailers such as Walgreens, CVS, and participating Sam Goody stores. Earl Whistles Disney. Buy it today.
Guys, roses are red, violets are blue. Don't let a wild pube wreck you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsors at Manscaped are here for you with the best tools to get your balls ready for the special occasion. This V-Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. With our exclusive offer, go to manscaped.com and use code FALCON for 20% off plus free shipping. Danny, why are clean balls so important this Valentine's Day?
John, you don't want to show up Valentine's night with some kind of prickly pear growing between your legs. You need to make that shit as soft and comfortable for your partner as possible.
Guys, your partner wants
so
a
that's
peach.
why I'd like to propose making February 13th the national holiday. Shave your balls day.
Yeah, your partner.
Are you with me?
Yeah, your partner wants a peach. They don't want a kiwi.
That's absolutely correct.
That is absolutely correct, and PG-13 appropriate. The number one product in this package is the lawnmower. The holiday went by so quickly. Do you remember to take care of your package with the best tools for the job? The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped. Daddy and I both received one of those fantastic packages, and it is just the thing for every guy needs in their life to make each and every day just a little more special.
John, it's the package for my package. That's the way that I view that.
Look, we should just read the copy and not give them great promotional ideas like the package for your package, because that right there is like $76 a month.
Do you guys need, I'm just throwing this out here. If they're listening to this, if you need me to write some promos for you here, I'll do it. I don't care. I got all kinds of puns.
I think the best thing is that legally, in order for payments to happen, they have to listen to make sure that we talk about it. Hey, but the number one product in that package, Lawnmower 4.0, is an electric trimmer designed to trim hair on loose skin. And get this, the trimmer's advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate balls. It even has a 4,000K LED spotlight, so you can shave anywhere your heart desires. And your heart desires your balls. Just saying that. Did I mention it's waterproof? Yeah. I don't think I mentioned it's waterproof.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like 99% waterproof, right? It's really good for that. You can use it in the shower. Those ceramic blades are great. And you can use that light to shine light on some of those dark nooks and crannies. Make sure you're not missing any spots.
Stick it where
because that would be the worst. To have one weird patch of hair
Yeah.
like on the side of your balls. Like nobody wants that,
You
right?
don't want to Hulk Hogan your ball sack, man. That is for sure.
Absolutely not, brother.
Hey, do you know, brother, this package also includes the Weed Whacker, nose and ear hair trimmer to whack all the worst of your weeds. I would say pubes are worse than nose hair, but that's just me. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts, their shed travel bag, which is surprisingly hugely high quality, thank you, and
it's really nice.
Anti-chafing boxer briefs to keep your boys stored comfortably. The Wonder Bra boxer shirts, they lift and separate. It's perfect.
Yeah.
To complete the perfect package for your package, our liquid formulations like the Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Start your day off with a deodorant for your boys, then stay cool all day with a toner to keep you feeling your best all day and night. These formulations
it keeps me going every day.
Yeah,
and I have a high performance sitting kind of scenario going on right now, where I'm not sitting on them because that would be awful.
Yeah,
that's an experience that I've had middle age, and I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. But I will say that this has definitely kept me cool, and like the boxers keep me under control, and the deodorant works. Like it's rad. Like this stuff is good.
Yeah, for sure.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, they will have your balls smelling like a king on the big day. Don't forget to smell good not only around your balls, but all over. It makes sense. Your partner isn't going to come near you if only your balls smell good. So made with their signature scent, the Manscaped Refined Cologne will complement your collection with smell perfection.
I'd like to try that one.
Yeah, please, Manscaped. We would love to try that. Manscaped created their products for a night just like this, and we will make your V-Day date say, wow, great set of balls you have there. And,
nice.
Guys, I want you to tell your partner, be like, you can thank a Warhammer 40,000 podcast called Mob Rules. It'll set the mood.
That's right.
Go to manscaped.com for our exclusive offer of 20% off plus free shipping with the code Falcon. Your balls and lady will thank you. Again, get 20% off and free shipping with the code Falcon at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping and manscaped.com, and use code Falcon. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow with Manscaped this Valentine's Day.
Dude, I'm the best. I took first place at another tournament.
First off, stop with the thunder and lightning. You don't impress me. And second, let me check out the BCP rankings. And I don't see you on there.
What?
Your TO needs to download the Best Coast Pairings app and run events on it. After the event, the results are uploaded into BCP rankings, and the best part, it's easy and free.
But I play multiple game systems.
No big deal. The BCP app can be used for any game. A ton of events every weekend are using it, from major international tournaments to local stores. And now that it's available on Android devices, you're going to have some serious competition.
There can be only one.
BCP Rankings is a fun and exciting way to measure how you or your team stack up. No matter what you play, your score goes to an overall ranking, or compete to be the best in a game, a circuit, a region, or the world.
Download the app or visit www.bestcoastpairings.com for more info.
Best Coast Pairings.
Are you the best?
Amazing. And Danny, though we're done talking with our balls, someone very rudely cut you off when you had a great point to bring up.
Oh no, it's fine. Let's so I was wrong about my second game. My opponent there was Ian Chambers, not
so like right back to business.
I'm just gonna skip right over it.
Skip right over the balls. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look, balls are great. Like, don't get me wrong.
Don't skip them over.
Right. And don't skip them over. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Falcon for 20% off. So my second opponent was Ian Chambers. My third opponent was Ryan. This game, I will say this, kind of to finish up talking about the second game.
Yeah.
This was not my best game. It was a little contentious to start with as well.
Okay.
There was a lot of 1 foot by 1 foot sections of hills with snow on them. Looks beautiful, not really great for tournament play. And so I asked my opponent, because I like to do this instead. I like to ask my opponent, what should these count as? I don't like to come out hard or anything like that with this stuff. I like to see what my opponent's going to say. This kind of helps me to determine how this, what kind of a player this is, how we want to define this. And so his response was, let's count them all as difficult terrain.
I gotta say, as a Death Guard player, I would also make that request. Let's count the entire table as difficult.
Well, yeah, but like without any other traits, like
nope.
And so I'm straight up like, no, we're not doing that. He's like, oh, okay, and I'm like, look, man, we're not going to make like half the playable table terrain that you can move through without penalty, and I have to pay. I have to pay for. Like, we're not doing that. And he's like, all right. So I'm like, let's just make them like cover that we were both getting something out of these, and like we can call it there. He's like, all right, that's fine. So, but immediately I was kind of like on my guard, like, oh man, is this going to be one of those games? It turns out it wasn't like that, which was fine.
You know a thing or two about playing contentious games about shitty Death Guard players. No. That was a self-burn. I have no idea about this person.
Death Guard players, John, are shitty.
That's fair. It's very thematic.
Anyway, so round 3, I play against Ryan Kufik. Ryan was an awesome opponent. Mm-hmm. Really nice, super friendly dude.
What was he playing?
So he was playing Tyranids. He was playing the new Crusher Brood, Leviathan Crusher Brood. So pretty good meta list. I don't think it was super optimized for exactly for this, but he had like a one of a bunch of different monsters.
Good stress test cool. For you, though.
I bet it was fun to play.
I was going to say, really good stress test for you, though.
Yeah, totally. Well, it was. It turns out it was. Anyway, so he gets first turn and has just this amazing first turn. First of all, I deployed really badly. Mm-hmm. Like I knew exactly where his hive guard were going to be, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm going to deploy in their range. It'll be fine." It wasn't fine.
It's very wrinkly of you. Your brain was just very wrinkled with that.
It was super smooth. I was tired.
Or we'll defeat him by presenting him the best target I possibly can to make him think I'm a fool.
My thought was like, oh, well, you know what? If he shoots the Scorpex and that kind of stuff, like that's fine. Like I'll just at least he won't be shooting the heavy destroyers, which I need to win the game, right? Mm-hmm. Because all these monsters are -1 damage. They're a 5-up impulse save. Like I'm gonna need these big beefy guns to like really go through them.
Some 3D3 doesn't care about -1.
Not as much. Mm-hmm. So on his first turn though, he picks up let's see, 3 Scorpex from one unit, 2 from another unit, and then all 5 Wraiths. And
wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool. So he charged in with a Scythe Hybridule, which got like the plus D3 attacks, which is one of the psychic powers they had, plus reroll misses in combat, which is also one of their things. But he did, it was a unit of 4 Wraiths left, and I'm like, cool. I'll lose like 2 or 3 Wraiths maybe, and then I'll like regen 1 probably with reanimation. That'll be fine. I just need like 2 of them to live so that I can go tie up the hive guard for a turn. Mm-hmm. Well, I failed 4 out of 4 4-up saves, and then on the reroll failed that too. So like I lost, and I just wanted 1. Like 1 would have been fine.
Yeah, just to kind of keep them in combat so they couldn't shoot. Right.
So like that was a big blow. Losing that many so soon sucked. But my bad.
The sweat starts appearing at that point.
Well, I'm like, no, I'm still in this game. I still have 9 heavy destroyers and my monolith. My monolith took a little bit of damage, but I healed it back up to full -2 wounds. So he's at 22 wounds, right? And the monolith floats up, and it's one of these turns where like, and I'm not blaming dice. It's just like I needed, because I was kind of on the back foot already, I needed some of the stuff to kind of go my way a little bit.
Sure.
In order to kind of keep myself in the game to push momentum. Right. Like even if I would have gotten like 1 of his monsters, that would have been enough. Like I think I would have been still very much in the game at that point in time. Mm-hmm. However, like his 5-up saves were fire. So he was doing like 2 out of 3 5-ups. Most like every time I would get 3 wounds, he would do that. Like it was, and then I would roll like my 2 wound rolls on the heavy destroyers and get like, I would hit twice and wound once on 2s, rerolling 1s with a wounded on 3s. And so like
Excuse
I'm
me.
spending all of my command points this turn on like a reroll to wound, and then like also an auto wound with the Necron strat. And like I just couldn't push any damage. So I think I did like 6 wounds to the side Tyrudul, shooting 9 heavy destroyers at it, and then shooting the monolith plus my overlord plus my chronomancer at the barbed Tyrudul. I also did 7 wounds, so it was down to 11. But that's everything I did that turn.
That is not optimal luck. Or
No.
I guess the best way to say it isn't luck, is like that is below average rolling.
It wasn't the worst. It wasn't like the end of the world. And then on his turn, his clapback, like he brought the monolith down to 12 wounds, or no, he got it down to 9 with like a combination assault from the tyrant and a maleceptor.
Did you make either of those guys disappear with the bullshit weapon you were telling us about from the first round that killed a bloodthirster?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
the monolith vortex the hive tyrant.
So what's fun is now I've learned not to charge your monolith.
Well, don't worry, John. The monolith will try and charge you.
Damn it.
The
It
funny thing is,
absorbs so many impulsors.
it's going to be so fat on impulsor meat. That's a new term that I just made up. That's a thing.
I'm going to beat it by
Impulsor
sending
meat.
wave after wave of my own impulsors against
So you
it.
hit my kill count, like my kill tally becomes so high. No, after I killed the bloodthirster, I'm like, okay, I can retire now. This was a good tournament for me. I killed the bloodthirster in combat with monolith. This is like fucking epic.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, like, and that was just kind of like a spiral down. Like I did do work, like, I didn't get tabled.
Good. Yeah.
And I tried to push points until the very end of the game. I killed the barbed Tyrudul. I killed the side Tyrudul. I killed the Flyrant. I killed the Maleceptor. I killed. But I was scoring points on my objectives. I got one good round of reanimation protocols on my immortals, where he came in with the side Tyrudul and flubbed some rolls to wound, and only did 4. So I had 1 left, and then I regened 2 out of the 4 that died. So I still had 3 immortals left, and they held that objective against him, which helped to secure domination and kept my banner on there. It was totally worth it.
Nice.
I did to get domination a couple more times. I worked really, really hard, and I managed to pull out. It was an 88-64 loss for me.
That's a really good score considering like the amount of damage that was done against you the first few turns.
Oh yeah, like I lost like 300, 400 points of models on the first turn, which is a lot. Yeah, it was roughly 400 points of models on the first turn. Which is that's a lot for me, especially playing Necrons. That's a lot.
No, for sure, absolutely. And now, so
And he got like,
I was gonna say you built this list with this weird funky Necron list with the destroyers and the monolith, with this style of list in mind, with this thick city / Nidzilla that's kind of all over the place right now. What were your sort of takeaways from that game, where you came up against kind of what you said wasn't an optimized list, but was sort of what you're expecting to see in the future? Kind of what changes are you making? Kind of what are you going to do differently next time?
That's fair.
Aside from not deploying in front of the Hive Guard.
Yeah, I think it's really important to deploy correctly in this list. Against that kind of list, I also might consider doing something crazy like deep striking the monolith.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that would be an option that I have. Also using its redeployment strat to like pull stuff over and kind of turn the board a little sideways so I can be out of range of stuff. And just really trying harder to make sure that my opponent isn't able to leverage those Hive Guard as much as he was able to, because they did so much work. They were straight up fire.
Do you feel like the play for that is to use your redeploy and your free movement to kind of try and bait the Hive Guard out of position by kind of deploying kind of the edge of their range and then pulling back?
Yeah. No, I think that's 100%. Either that or, deploying really aggressively and then pulling back.
Yeah.
Because if I deploy aggressively, I can also push.
Right.
So, I played against Tyranids in a TTS league a little while ago, and what I did there was I basically put everything on the line.
Right.
And I got first turn, and I threw. And this list was a little bit different. I had dropped a unit of heavy destroyers for an extra unit of wraiths. Mm-hmm. But I put 6 square packs and 10 wraiths into his lines on the first turn, and basically it was like, deal with all this, and I have your objectives. So I killed a million Gene Stealers and that kind of stuff. That was a little bit different of a Tyranid list, but that guy had 15 Hive Guard.
Sure.
And I still managed to win that game.
Nice. So yeah, kind of an overview of the kind of entire tournament, kind of wrap up your tournament experience there, and then we can get out of the games played section. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no problem. I just need to. Then we can go home.
Yeah.
I think I just need to play a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. Okay. And I can tell that my lack of practice is really showing.
Sure.
I'm very rusty, and I made really stupid mistakes that I wouldn't normally have made if I got to play every week and that kind of stuff. I'm just so out of it game wise, which is why I'm bringing the monolith list, because I don't really care how well I do. I just want to play and have a good time and see and do as well as I think I can do, rather than just try and win.
Yeah. I'm in a similar situation. I think embarrassingly, I haven't had a game in over a month, for various reasons. Real life things, other stuff like that. And then my time that I'd set aside to actually learn how to play Marines, because, taking Marines to LVO, my entire play group got COVID.
Right.
Through separate things. I, knock on wood, are still untouched and pure. But like I said, that's kind of knocked a lot of stuff out here. So I kind of also like the meme list, because I can just go have fun. The plan for the next year for me, at least, is to play Templars, and kind of just keep dicking around with those. And what a way to start. Then just kind of go, even if I go 0-6, right. That is not the purpose of the LVO for me. I know it's not the purpose for the LVO for you. We joke about this, how neither of us is going to win the thing. We are going there to have a great time, see some old friends, and make some new ones. Apart from you, and you know who you are.
Yeah. Right, because we're not friends anymore.
You know what you did. Yeah, honestly, overall, it sounds like a really good event over there at Game Haven in Spokane. Feel free to send us
Gamers Haven is awesome, man. So they have this attached Creole New Orleans restaurant, and so I had hush puppies and a fried oyster po' boy for lunch with a really nice beer. It was great.
The owner keeps coming up to you. You get oysters and po' boy. Are you sure he wasn't trying to just date you and be like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? Here's some oysters. How's your round 2 going?"
Will you leave a 5-star review for me?
Oh man, I will say I left a 5-star review for a sushi place here in Anchorage.
Oh, yeah. Did you go on a Wednesday?
So we went for one of our friends' birthdays, and I met our friend Eric, a great guy, some of the time. But we met outside, and there's a giant LED sign outside that says, "We're closed on Wednesdays." Which I thought was hilarious. It was that's the only thing you're advertising in your entire sign outside. So I left a 5-star Google review that just says they're closed on Wednesdays with a picture of it there.
See their sign.
That review has been viewed 420 times ish.
Holy shit, for real?
It's over 400. I keep on getting Google notifications, and I'm like, please stop. This was a joke. But now I think my thing is just to go to places and leave 5-star reviews and say whether they're open on Wednesday or not.
I was going to say maybe you could do a review and see if, or just post their hours.
Yeah. So too informative. We just got to say whether they're closed on Wednesday or not.
There you go. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm not the expert here. You're the guy with 400 views on his Google review.
That's fair. I am an influencer in the world of
You're right.
Alaskan sushi, which is just terrifying to say out loud. Danny, we're going to be back in 2 weeks. Our next episode is going to be dropping the Saturday of the Las Vegas Open, where you and I, we're not working. We've been told that. So we get the weekend off from FLG to go just do fun things, and I'm pretty excited. What are you most excited for in Vegas?
The debauchery. I don't know. Is that an answer?
I mean, no, sort of.
Yeah, like gambling, drinking. That stuff is pretty dope.
Fun stuff like that.
It's just been a while since I've had like a vacation where I felt like I could. I don't know, like this. I had a decently long vacation here for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
But like. There were some obligations, and I guess there's some obligations for this too, but not really. I mean, I could play all my games like drunk off my ass if I really wanted to. And like I'm just going to try and hang out with my friends and see how they do and that kind of stuff, and see what kind of gaming stuff is going on, and try some stuff and do some gambling, eat some good food. Like it's going to be dope.
We're going to try and abuse our freemium positions in the FLGN to get into the GW panel and to kind of get in around the place. Get there early on Thursday. They will have secondary objective cards at the GW store.
Yeah. Dude, I got to buy those.
I have to get those. Those look so tight. And yeah, I'm just excited to kind of go hang out, play some games, and be away. And this is going to be my first vacation in 4 years where I will not have to worry about my phone blowing up from my work.
Oh, aren't you excited?
Dude, I'm very excited about that.
I remember when you had to put out fires during LVO the last time we went.
I put out fires at LVO last time we went. When we were at Charity Hammer, I spent 3 hours putting out fires. This time, I could even leave my phone. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be good times. If you guys are going to be at the Las Vegas Open, like I said, Danny and I will be there. Seth Oster will be there. Feel free to put Post-it notes on his head.
They won't stick.
They won't stick. It's very smooth, like his brain.
It's like an orb to ponder.
Put 210 Post-it notes on him. We'll kill him. Danny, do you have anything to add here before? Oh, dude, check out our YouTube channel. We did reviews of the Custodes Codex and the G-Sailor Cult Codex. They were real. Danny, you did a great job on those. Those are great books. Super excited. They're very flavorful.
I feel like I did a really good job, especially on the GSC one. Yeah. So check that out sure.
I have to say,
it's very complicated.
I did a poor job on the visuals of that one, but got it by the Custodes. So the GSC, great content, bad visuals. So the Custodes, good content, great visuals. But we'll get it there. We probably have more stuff coming. I would remind people that if we didn't have more stuff coming, we couldn't tell you when it was coming because it wouldn't exist. And if we did have more stuff coming, we couldn't tell you because it would be under an NDA. But definitely check out the Mob Rules YouTube channel. Something will happen. Check us out every Monday night, Grim After Dark. Oh, we need to book a guest for Monday. We left it open-ended. I got to contact that person.
Shit. Really?
Oh, yeah. I didn't contact anyone. That's perfect. Good times. And then for more Beyond Baseball, Danny and I will be right back in this fucking unfiltered atmosphere right here in Mob Rules in 2 weeks, Las Vegas, That's Saturday. Right. If you're in Vegas and you see us, bring us beer. We always appreciate it. Thank you, Kyle. be a Kyle. Danny, what else you got before we play out here?
Oh, yeah, I get to see Kyle too. That'll be dope.
Oh, yeah.
Come say hi. Like, do not, we're excited to see anyone who wants to come talk to us.
We want to make fun of you for listening to the shitty podcast.
Yeah, you're an idiot, first of all, especially if you're a Patreon. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. First of all, you're a moron. Second of all, manscaped.com, promo code Falcon for 20% off and free worldwide shipping.
We love you.
But yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to be talking about sort of my road to the LVO. We talked about my list already, but we'll go over the finalized thing. Things to look out for. We're going to go over Danny's list. We're going to go over my list. How to beat them. And God, I hope someone tells me how to win with my list. But for Mob Rules, I've been John.
I've been Danny.
And we'll see you next time.